religion, your status, your goals. It's where everyone grows, from what everyone knows. Sistah Chat Radio, turn us on, enjoy the show. Everything for the soul. Your passion, yes, we can discuss. Designed just for you, yeah, you can trust us. Trust us, trust us, trust us.
And welcome everybody to Sistah Chat Radio. We are so happy to have you here tonight. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, how are you doing, Holly?
I'm good.
That's good.
We're going to be yellow tomorrow.
And you know what? I'm so excited about that. And I know Deb is so excited about that because we are going to be doing some eating out, at least outside at some of our local restaurants. So how exciting is that going to be?
Very.
Yummy.
Get out.
Yummy.
Yummy. Well, I know that before we get started, because we have such a special guest tonight, and we want to use up every moment that we have with her. We want to thank the Rainvilles from Brokers Realty for being our ever faithful sponsor. They make sure that we come to you every Thursday night and all the extra times in between. So thanks, John. Thanks, Betty. If you're interested in listing, selling, renting, auctioning, reach out to me. I'll make sure to get you involved with one of the realtors from Brokers Realty. So Deb, I know that you have been so anxious to have this wonderful lady on with us, and you're going to introduce her.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. And I just want to introduce my very good friend of many, many years. She and I, have fed off of each other, supported each other, loved each other, and continue the journey as we age with grace and style and just love life fully and completely. Vera Moore, who is the founder, owner, and CEO of Vera Moore Cosmetics. Hey, Vera.
Hey, how are you? This is absolutely fantastic. I am so blessed, so excited, so delighted. Just all day I was thinking, I just can't wait. Thank you so much. It's been such a long time since we've seen each other. But, anytime we pick up the phone, we talk to each other. But when we talk to each other, it looks like exactly. But when we talk to each other, it's that real, true friendship. We don't have to talk every day. We don't have to see every day. But as soon as you hear my voice and I hear your voice, it's like bam. Hi, it's like we never miss
exactly.
It's really great.
Exactly.
Great.
That's
yeah, it's wonderful.
You were the first Black soap opera star. Tell us a little about that. I mean, that had to be very interesting. And then, continue with the progression of Vera Moore.
All right. Well, and if I go, how we kind of forget things and go awry. You pull me back in.
I will. All right. I got my fishing hook ready.
Yeah, pull me in. Yeah. Well, even before I did the soap opera, I'm going to tell you, I had no idea I was going to be in theater.
Wow.
I had no idea. I worked for the federal government right out of high school. We were a poor family, 7 children, 5 brothers, 1 sister. My mom and dad, they had a 3rd grade education, but they had PhD in wisdom. You know the deal.
Hello.
Yeah, PhD in wisdom. So right out of high school, I went to work for the federal government, the solicitor's office for the Port of New York. And but I always, did I say no idea theater? No, I had no idea I was going to be an entrepreneur. That's what I meant to say. I always wanted to sing. Sing. I used to sing in church. I sang on anytime anybody wanted anybody to sing. I do it. So this is the truth. So I used to go to work. Federal government had to be there at 8 o'clock, but I go on my lunch hour to audition. And I worked for this great boss. I worked for a law division, and I took stenographer because I knew it was giving me an opportunity to get a job and to work. I always
that's how I started out.
Exactly, and I was taking Greg's stenographer. So I would go to work go to my auditions on my lunch hour, and we were down at Wall Street, Bowling Green. So I had to take the train all the way up to Midtown. And when I got to the theater for my auditions, I changed my clothes because you had to look different for law, and then. And I did that for years, but I had a plan. I said, I'm going to save all my money This is right out of high school. I was 18. I said, I'm going to
Wow.
save all my money.
You had a
I am
plan.
staying. Yeah, plan. Everything's a plan. I said, I'm going to save all my money. I am not moving out and stay here with my mom and my dad. I love my mom and dad. And after, over a period of time, auditioning, getting turned down, rejection. No, you're not what we're looking for. No, thank you very much, but thank you very much, no. Then I'd go back and the lawyer used to, Mr. Greenberg, his name, did you get the job there? I said, no, and I used to get my Variety newspaper and Backstage and Showbiz papers. These were the papers that you got when you wanted to audition, because I wasn't in the union. So sometime I'd go uptown, midtown, and I might be number 98, because they called in the theater cattle calls.
Wow.
So one time I got it. I said, oh my God. It was for the chorus of South Pacific, Guy Lombardo. So I went back to the office. Yeah. So I went back to the office and he said, did you get it? I said, I got it, Mel, I got it. So he said, well, this is great. He said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm quitting.
I bet you he didn't expect that.
No, you know what he said to me? This is Holly, right? You know what he said to me? Vera, you cannot quit a federal government job see, summer stock is like just for the summer. It's like 6 weeks, 9 weeks. That's what's called summer stock.
Right.
And most people have to do summer stock because they're trying to get their union card. She said,
Right.
but I had a federal government job. I said, I talked it over with my mom, and she says, you go for it. You do what you want to do. Because I was a hard worker. I had the best mother in the world. Oh, the best father. I mean, I had the best. So I went back and I said, Mr. Greenberg, yes, I am going to leave. You're going to leave a federal government job, leaving benefits, leaving annual leave, leaving sick leave. I work for the federal government, customs, and I
Vera, talking about stepping out on faith, huh?
Letting go of the trunk of the tree, going out of the limb. I went for it. It's the risk. So I was a little nervous. I won't say I wasn't, but I was so excited. My God, I was going to be in a show. It was so funny. It was not like I was a lead or anything. I mean, there must have been 1,000 people in the show, and I was in the chorus. And I think I ran across the stage once or twice for 2 seconds. But guess what? I was in it to win it, and I was there. So that was the beginning.
To win it.
That was the beginning, and I met some wonderful people because I was having so much fun. I mean, the stage, the lights, the cameras, Guy Lombardo, South Pacific, and you know what? It was at Jones Beach on Long Island, not far from my home, so I didn't have to go away. See how everything worked out? Because normally, if somebody, normally people in summer stock and theater, they have to go away. But I was right there, and I don't want to leave home anyway. I love being home. So, but you see, it's about connecting with people, building a relationship, being nice, collaborating. Because you transfer all these skills and these tools as you grow.
As you grow, exactly. I always say,
scale up, so to speak.
I always say teamwork makes the dream work. I say that all the time.
Well, I actually have to ask a question because I didn't realize this about Vera. But did you know when you went to that
audition
show to work, did you know a fellow by the name of Ron Heasel that was Guy Lombardo's one of his managers?
Sound manager.
He was the sound manager. The reason I asked is I didn't realize it, but my cousin, that's my cousin, worked on that show.
What? Now we're talking many moons
many years
ago.
Just an interesting kind of, how connections, it's weird.
I don't remember that name, but I'm trying to remember the stage manager, Morty. His name was Morty. I don't know. Is he still?
But this fellow was the sound manager, but I just think it's so, how
Isn't
connections
that funny?
are. It's such a small world, and it just hit like, oh my goodness. So it was my cousin. I mean, it's my second cousin, her third cousin, my first cousin, her second cousin, actually.
Wow,
because we're
that's
cousins.
amazing.
Holly and I are cousins.
and that was at Jones Beach?
Yes.
Well, I was in it. I did it for 2 years. They did that show twice. For 2 years. It was excellent. I mean, a huge cast. I mean, it was just fabulous. The music, the orchestra coming on the barges, on the water. I thought I was a star,
You were in heaven. You are a star. And you know it already.
Yeah, I thought I was a star. So, but the building a relationship.
You were a shooting star even then, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Could you give
yeah,
our listeners a timeline kind of the shows that you were in once you started? Like, what was your progression upward?
okay. Well, the first show to get my, my equity card, and that got me my equity card. I mean, that's a big deal to get your union card. And I was in that show for 2 years. They did it for 2 summers. So
Okay.
they just, did the same, they hired the same cast over if it's less work.
Right.
My God, that was in, oh my Lord, the 70s. Yeah.
Wow.
And then from that,
Wow.
I was so excited, and you're young and you're excited and you don't know what you're doing and you take the risk and you look back and say, oh my God, did I do that? So really, I'm telling you. So the director of that show, the musical director, which was Howard Roberts, was going to California.
Wow.
And he was going there to direct the Leslie Uggam show.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I remember that show.
Yes, I was on the Leslie. I flew out. Well, so how it happened? He says, "Okay, we're gonna be doing the Leslie Uggam show. Anybody interested in going?" Because we had been working with him for 2 years.
Wow.
I'll do it. And I went to California. I was in California for maybe a year. That was the most exciting thing that I've, to go into the studio, Universal, and see the actors, and just see, But I was a little girl in the chorus, but still, I never dreamed. You walk. Johnny Mathis was on the show, Dionne Warwick.
Wow.
I mean, it was just everybody's in different studios, but you see people.
Wow.
It was amazing. But I learned so much. I was like a sponge. I learned so much. So we were out there for a year. I got a little homesick, and I wanted to come back, but the show was over and I wanted to come back home. But I constantly honed my skills.
Mhm.
I never stopped. I never sat back on my laurels. You have to hone yourself because competition is stiff. Don't ever think you're the best one out
Yes,
there.
it
There's
is.
always someone better. My mother always told me that
Absolutely.
because it keeps you
Yeah.
striving. Exactly. So the Leslie Uggam show was a couple of years after the Guy Lombardo show. I mean, South Pacific. And then what did I do? I did children's theater. It's called Prince Street Theater. Children's theater, which I'll tell you, I learned a lot from children's theater. It was called the Prince Street Theaters, and we was down in the Bowery. We used to have the class and stay there till 11 o'clock at night, and we performed in Central Park.
Wow.
How
children's
cool is
theater.
that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, and then we would go to, I think it was the Paper Mill Theater in New Jersey, different theaters, but it was always local that I didn't have to go anywhere, pretty close. So
Isn't
we
that
did that.
awesome?
I learned, yeah. It was, the best. The best. So children's theater, I did that for a couple of years and I really learned a lot of, I just learned so much. And then from children's theater, but meanwhile, now I was always studying, going to school at night, learning things on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got my great, it was a big break. Let me see, was it the same time that I did the Kathleen Battle? I'm trying to remember. I traveled, no. I hope everybody's heard of Kathleen Battle, the opera singer.
Yes, I have.
Yes. Well, Kathleen, they were auditioning for Treemonisha, the Scott Joplin opera.
Mm-hmm.
And I had studied opera for a long time. And I did classical music, and then I segued into musical comedy, which was theater,
Right.
They were auditioning for Treemonisha. I said, I'm going to try out for that. I said, I'm going to try it. I tried out for it, and I got the understudy. I did it. Treemonisha!
All right.
Yeah, I did it. So I had to go away to Houston, Texas. But then they brought Treemonisha to Broadway. So I was on Broadway with Treemonisha for a year at the Broadway
right.
Theater. Yeah, so that was exciting. And then, it's a progression. As you're in that hub, in that loop, and you're honing your skills, you meet people.
Yeah,
You meet
absolutely.
people, and you got to work really hard, and you got to go to auditions. I used to go to auditions on my break. I used to go to auditions at night. Oh, you got to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning, the audition, and they didn't see you until 12. But you got to do that. You got to hustle.
Right.
It's grit and
Right.
grind. It's not easy.
And I think that's what young people need to understand today is that if you want to get somewhere, you really got to hustle,
Yeah.
and it happens. It's a slow progression. It's not the microwave thing. People want it quick, fast now.
Yeah.
But that's
You
not
can't
the
take
way.
the elevator. No.
You can't
You got-
take the elevator or
Up
the
the stairs.
escalator. You got to take the stairs
the
one step
stairs.
at a time.
So Vera,
Oh my God. Yes,
tell
dear.
us, tell us about being chosen to be on the soaps, because that was such a pinnacle for you, you know,
Yeah,
or
Well,
not a
yeah.
pinnacle, but
well-
it was like a point where all of a sudden you are this major character, first Black woman in soaps. What did you think at that point? That must have been incredible for you.
Well, you know, just before we did the soap, you know, I'll get to that. Don't make me forget.
Oh.
Don't let me forget.
Okay.
So, you know, I did the termination with Kathleen Battle. Then they were having the first Pearly Victorious, all Black cast, Melba Moore, Cleavon Little,
Wow.
Davella Nelson, and I auditioned for that and I got it.
Incredible.
Okay.
Yes, that
All
was on Broadway for 4 years. It was just fabulous. I mean, Tony Award, you know, not me, Melba Moore, just the best. So I did that. But while I was on Broadway, which they worked you hard, and you previewed for like 6 months. I mean, you know, you go out of town, you preview, whatever. So my agent called me and said, Vera, they're gonna have Another World is gonna do a soap opera, the first Black soap opera. And they were having a Black family. They were having a Black family, you know.
Wow.
And it was going to be an hour. Most soap operas were a half hour. Ours was an hour. So it was the first soap opera to be an hour, because most of them were half hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? So, listen, talk about auditioning. But you know, now that I think about it, all this other stuff was preparing me for that. Right? It was preparing me for that. It was a big deal going to California, being with the movie stars. I come back home. I'm on Broadway with Pearly Victorious for 4 years. And then I audition. You always audition while you're on something else, because you're always trying to get gigs. And in between, I did commercials.
Yeah.
You're always in trade shows, commercials, because you don't get paid every Friday. You don't work, you don't get paid. Or you go on the unemployment line. You know the deal.
Yeah.
So I auditioned and auditioned and auditioned and auditioned. And then one day my agent said, you got it, Vera.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
I don't know what to say. I mean, was I ecstatic? I said, oh my God. I couldn't believe it, because, I mean, soap opera, listen, this is NBC. This is national television.
Right.
You know,
Vera, was it filmed in New York, or did you have to go out to California?
No, it's NBC. They filmed in Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah,
Okay.
lots of soaps are filmed in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Lots of soaps are filmed in Brooklyn, but they also filmed on 57th Street. There's a lot of All My Children, Channel 7 was in New York. A lot of soaps are filmed in California.
Right.
I forget the name of it, but a lot of soaps are filmed both East and West Coast. But I was very, very excited. I was very nervous. Because now you're up close. Now you're right in the people's homes. See, Broadway, you're in the theater, darling, and you're on the stage, you know. But now you're right in their home. You're part of their family.
Wow.
So I was on Another World for 10 years.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yes,
What
it
an
is
experience
incredible.
that had to have been.
Yes, it was a wonderful experience. It was a very enlightening experience, and that's how I segued into Vera Moore Cosmetics.
Well, tell us about that, you know, in terms of what made you decide to go into cosmetics.
Okay.
I know the answer to that, but I'm sure our audience doesn't.
I know. Well, you know what? I've always, let me just tell you one thing first. You know, we all have a little fear, because we're human.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, you know, you got to be fearless and I know all that. You got to be that. But we're still human. And I was a little nervous, but I never and also we're going to speak very candidly here, correct?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I never let being a Black woman stop me.
Yeah. And
a proud Black. I never did. I got that from my mom. As I said, she was a domestic worker, scrub floors, 3rd grade education. My father could barely read. And I was always proud of who I was. But
Yeah.
I got that from them. They were Christian people, and they just always made me feel, you can do this, Vera. Don't worry, you can do this. If you want to go for it, you
You
try.
can do it.
Exactly. Yeah, this yes I can.
Absolutely.
I didn't get this. Yes I can. I didn't get from Obama. I got that from my mom. You know, you can go
Wow.
for it.
Hello.
You know, yeah.
Yes.
You know, even when see backtracking a little bit, but remind me about Green Acres Mall, Deborah. Even
Yes.
but I got to backtrack just for 1 second. Even when, and this was a huge deal. I feel it was more important even than even than Another World. I was the first Black tenant in the
Wow.
history of Green Acres Mall to integrate a mall in Long Island. They never had a
Wow.
Black tenant in 50 years. I was the first. That
Wow.
was huge for me. You can look at the Green Acres Mall, Valley Stream, Long Island. Very luxurious mall, beautiful mall. And I lived in Laurelton, very nice neighborhood. And we shopped in Green Acres Mall.
Right.
And I said, you know, they were building a second floor. I said, you know what? I could do that. And a lot of people, friends, and friends, they were friends, but Vera, how are you going to get them? Well, they had never had a Black person in that mall. They never had a Black tenant. Malls only have anchor stores. They don't have kiosks, little kiosks or carts.
Right.
I said, yeah, I know that, but, you know, we shop there. We live in
Hello.
Laurelton.
Hello.
Everybody from the mall, you know, middle class families in Rosedale, Laurelton, Valley Stream. I can try. We started selling cosmetics in my husband's hair salon, Billy's Place, but I wanted to grow. I wanted to scale up because we tested it there first and people liked it. So I approached the mall. Was it difficult? It was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
Vera,
Wow.
Vera,
And I remember when you
I've ever
did
done.
that. Go
Hardest
ahead.
thing.
what was the moment that made you say, I'm going to make cosmetics?
Oh, the moment, well, that's when I went on to a soap opera and there was no Black people on the soap opera and I didn't like the product. I mean, they did the best they could with what they had. I mean, it was wonderful. But you're talking about the 70s, that no one was catering to Black women. You know, we range from white to blue, Black. And I say that because there's Black women just as light as you are, Holly.
Yeah,
And then there's Black
exactly.
women,
Mhm.
and there's Black women just as dark as Whoopi Goldberg.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
Yeah,
but at the
exactly.
particular
Exactly.
time, but at the particular time, there was such a void in the market for it. Now they had stuff out there, they did, but the quality, we weren't a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't quality. On stage, it's different because you're wearing that heavy, thick makeup anyway. Because I mean, you know, it's bigger than life. Stage is
Right.
it's drama. It's bigger than life. You know, it's just huge. But now you're right in front of the camera, NBC
Like
studio,
right in your
big
face.
time.
Right in your
Right
face.
in your face. Right,
Right
in
in
your
your
face.
face.
I mean, right, and you know, beautiful, the cameras, the light, oh my God, intimidating. And I had a white uniform. I was Linda Metcalf. I'd answer the phone and say, "Good morning, Dr. Matthews' office. May I help you?"
I
Okay?
remember
And it was all
that.
over there you go. And it was all over the phone, all over my white nurse's uniform. And
Oh,
it was too red. It was too oily. It was too greasy. It was too heavy because we were not a priority. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, you go into a department store at that particular time, you could have 10 and 15, 20 colors for you, but nothing really for me. And someone had said to me once, Vera, see, I'm jumping around. Make sure you bring me back. Vera, why would you go into a market that's so saturated? It was saturated for you, not for me.
Hello.
right.
Yeah. True. True.
So that was the genesis to answer your question. That's why I did cosmetics, because I wanted to bring a quality product for people of color. Now we service everybody. I mean, you know, ladies, believe me, my colors are beautiful for everybody, for Holly, Sarah, everybody.
Yes,
But
they
we
are. Yes,
specifically-
they are.
And I'll send you so you can see them. But we specifically target the Black woman, the woman of color, because she didn't have anything.
Of course.
Yeah.
And my husband,
Yeah.
no, she really didn't have, you know. And my husband,
No,
was
it's wonderful.
yes. Well, that's about entrepreneurship. You have to fill the void.
That's
And my
right.
husband
You
at
have
the
to fill the
time
void.
was an esthetician, a skincare specialist. And my daughter graduated from Howard University School of Business, and she came back and she went to Christine Valmet, which is a very prestigious school for aesthetics, esthetician. So we always wanted to educate the Black woman about the importance of skincare.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the powder and the paint and the lipstick. Mm-mm. It was about a regimen. Do you need a cleanser? Do you need a toner? Do you need a moisturizer?
Right.
Do you need
Right.
an exfoliant? Oh, what's an exfoliant? We're going to slough off the dead cells so you can see that beautiful, beautiful glow. And that
Mhm.
goes for everybody, not black women, white, all women, to
Right.
exfoliate.
Right.
So education takes a long time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
makeup you can do. If you're a good makeup artist, anybody can be gorgeous, you know, because you're a makeup artist. But skincare has to be taught. And makeup is immediate gratification.
Yeah,
You don't see the
absolutely.
result of skincare right away. So it was extremely difficult. And it's extremely difficult to change people that are used to something else. You know,
Absolutely. Conditioning. Conditioned
yeah,
to not pay attention. Conditioned not to care. So
yes.
retraining
Oh,
women
very hard.
into the totality of their beauty and what that means in terms of skincare, that was a whole process, I'm sure.
It was
And it still
very
is.
difficult. Oh, yes. It was very difficult because, ladies, we were in Green Acres Mall now, and it took 3 years to get in there. I'm jumping around, but it took 3 years to get in there.
Right.
How did I do it? At that particular time, we went into Green Acres Mall in 1979.
I remember.
I mortgaged my home to do that.
Wow.
So you know I was risking it. I look back and said, "Oh my God, Vera, I mortgaged my home to do that, to get into the mall." And it took 3 years to get in there. And I'll tell you, and I'm also writing a book, ladies, so I'll have to come back on when I do that. You know,
Good.
yeah, when I first went into Green Acres Mall to try to get into Green Acres Mall, was under certain management. And we're going to get in. And then during the course of the 3 years, they changed management. So when I went back, they said, well, you know, Vera, it's a little different now. And you know, no, Sarah's not in charge anymore. Holly is. So, you know, maybe we can revisit this next year.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
I froze like a pillar of salt.
Wow.
I froze. And I said, what do you mean? Well, because, you know, there's no, you know, things change. You know, everybody changes the rules. So things change. And they weren't going to give it to me. And I said, well, you'll give this to me. I'm going to fight you for this. So it did, because it should have taken 3 years to do it, but it did. But that's okay. That's okay. You stay the course.
You stay the course. Exactly.
You keep your eyes on the prize. You got to go.
Hello.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when they finally said, okay, you know, because they think, oh, this girl, this little black girl, she's not gonna shut up. And I didn't. I didn't. I was determined. I was determined to level the playing field, to break the color barrier.
And you
to be
did.
To be the first black in the history of Green Acres Mall. The newspapers covered it, Long Island, all of them covered, because it had never been done.
Right.
And it wasn't about the lipstick powder. It was about empowerment.
Right.
It was about making people feel good about themselves, that you are more than enough to be unapologetically you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. I would have gone on the roof just to get my foot in the door. So when they put me on the second floor, they said, well, there's no place, Vera, you know, the place that we were going to give you downstairs before, which was going to be in front of Payless Shoes, the first floor, going to put you on the second floor on the food court. So I didn't know if they thought that was going to be a deterrent, but it wasn't. I took it.
Hello.
I stayed up on the second floor for 10 years. With French fries and lipstick. Yeah, I did.
See, that's what you have to do. I mean, unfortunately, we as Black people have had to make these concessions so that we can get in the door and that we can show what we can really do. And once we do, I mean, incredible things begin to happen. But you got to believe in yourself. And I think that that's what everybody, I don't care what color you are, you have to believe in yourself and keep going no matter what. Yes, there are going to be bumps in the road. Yes, there are going to be potholes and pitfalls, but you get up and you keep it moving.
And you know what? And absolute ditto. But I'm going to tell you something for all of you. I never approach things as being Black. I approach it being qualified.
Right, absolutely. And that's
because
exactly.
a lot of people have challenges, Black, red, yellow, but I understand,
a lot of women have challenges. Like
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm talking about women.
That they are not as qualified in a lot of cases as men to start a company. And that is just simply not the case.
Well, I think it's the upbringing. Women, some women. Now we're going to get back to some women feel that they're not qualified and they only have a certain position. You know, they can't step outside the box. But now, from the Black perspective, sometimes we don't have a choice. We want to step out of the box. We want to do better. You know, we're not privileged, some of us, and so we strive very hard to prove it. That's why, you know, most of the Black businesses now that are open are beginning by Black women, people of color.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because
yeah,
they're thirsty. They're thirsty for it.
And hungry.
Exactly. And when we level the playing field, we level the playing field for everyone.
Because
together and collaboration, we all can win.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
We all can win. And as I said, that's why I did that at Green Acres Mall. And it's sort of, as you said, it's hard. People are conditioned. It was very difficult for people to support me the first 2-3 years because they're conditioned to other things that they were purchasing, you know, but it took a while. I was like a politician. Hello, how are I? You know, for the first couple of years, believe me, I was in that mall every single day. The mall never closes. It's open 7 days a week. Now, I'm not saying I stayed there all day because the mall is open from 10 to 10. But I went to that mall once a day, whether I stayed 3 hours, 2 hours, or 5 hours, or 1 hour, every single day.
Absolutely.
Because it's engagement with your customers. You know, it's really about customer service, and I knew that.
It really is.
So all
these
things with theater, all these things with theater sort of prepared me for rejection. Because theater is very difficult. I can remember going for a part in theater. I'm going back and forth, but now I can remember I forget the name of it. I was young. I didn't know. And I heard the stage manager says, well, she's got a gorgeous voice. She hits those seats, but we don't have any, we're not going to have any, the role doesn't call for a Black person. You understand? But this is a long time ago. Now it's about, well, it's still hard because I have friends that are in theater that have won Oscars and Tonys and they still have to audition, which is absurd. But you understand what I'm saying? So you have to have that stamina. You have to have that faith and belief in yourself that you can do this no matter what.
Right.
You really do. And
you do.
and you have to, and I'm not speaking personally now. You have to stay, I'm gonna say we. I have to stay focused, prayed up, and ask God to, and I always ask him to help me, to guide me, to lead me, to order my steps.
Right. And give us the strength we need to
continue
to carry forth our goals and our dreams.
Yeah, because it's not easy.
I had to write down your phrase about being unapologetically you. I love that saying. What a great saying for all of us to
I didn't create
embrace.
it, I copied, but still, I'm speaking for all women.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's something that we should
exactly. Don't let anybody water down your power.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Or pull the plug on it.
Exactly. It's very, very important for us to stick together. You know, there's no I in team.
That's right.
We have to collaborate. We have to network. And you know what? I don't know. I'm Jewish. I was just never afraid. I guess because my mother, you know, we were poor. My mother was a domestic worker. I remember sitting by the window, and my father worked at night, and you know, my mother had to go work, and she said, "Now sit by that window, and Daddy will be here in 10 minutes." You know, that's a lot. What's a lock key kid? And I listened to my mother. Just sit by the window. It seemed like an hour. Let's say my mother left at 8 o'clock, and my father was home at 8:10. I'd sit there, and I obeyed, and I was obedient. You understand? I was obedient, and I listened.
Yeah.
And I had such a wonderful relationship with my mother, and she encouraged me. You can do this. I said, Mom, you know. And for opening night, can you imagine opening night? I said, what am I going to wear? That's another story I'll tell you in the book. But for now, my aunt worked in Flushing at a zipper factory. They took scraps. I wish I had kept the dress and made me the most beautiful dress.
Oh,
because I was in another show on Broadway, Jackie Mason. You ever heard of Jackie Mason?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I remember Jackie Mason.
Jackie Mason was I was also on Broadway with Jackie Mason. It was excellent. well, it lasted a year, but because he's not an actor, he's a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And you say
Right.
something, and you're supposed to get your cue. And if he wanted to go off and do a stand-up comedy, he would do it, and everybody in the audience laughed because that's what he was. So that also made me quick, you know.
Absolutely.
That's
And,
great.
everybody's played a role in your ascension to where you
Yes.
are now.
Yes,
And that's so
yes.
important that people realize that everybody serves a purpose in our lives. It's just that, and not we may not like everybody, but everybody serves a purpose. We need to understand that as long as we are able to work together and grow together, that's a plus for everyone involved.
But, and also, you know what? I guess it's just me. You have to be able to find the good no matter what.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's hard.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not perfect, believe me. I got mad too. And,
Yeah.
but you have to be able to find the good. And I guess from a
Oh,
perspective
absolutely.
for me as a Christian woman, I'm able to find the good no matter what. It's like bittersweet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that lifts your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to someone yesterday, and they would talk to me about something. I said, I used the example of bowling. It just came to me when I was talking to her. Anybody know about bowling? Anybody bowl? Okay.
Yes,
The
I
bowling
used to.
alley, right? Okay, you're in the bowling alley. You got to stay focused to hit those pins. You got to stay in your
That's
own
right.
lane.
Otherwise, you get a gutter.
You get a gutter
Absolutely.
ball, and you see exactly. So when you look to the right or the left, you could get a gutter ball. You have to stay very, very focused.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that's how I was able. And I made lots of mistakes. Oh my God, I've made so many mistakes in my business. But
Oh, don't we all?
yes, exactly. But you pick yourself up and you go, because I love being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Vera, I have
Absolutely.
to say, I love your body products. Deb shared what you had sent her, and I absolutely adore the fragrance of it.
I'm trying to figure out which one did I send. I don't know.
Was it like warm cinnamon or no vanilla? It was
I know
vanilla.
which one. Yeah, yeah. The sugar scrub.
The sugar,
sugar
scrub
scrub,
and
that's
the
what it was.
cream. Oh my gosh! I like milked that bottle for the longest time because I just adored the fragrance of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
well,
smell was
Deb,
mesmerizing.
Oh, guys, you've got.
It
That's so nice.
really
Thank you.
was like food for the soul. I would just
Yeah.
love getting in the shower, and that fragrance just was it was
Yeah.
enveloping. And honestly, Vera, that came to me at a time that was
You
so
see?
difficult for me, and
Yes.
you just have no idea. There is something with that fragrance that I associate with just comfort, really.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you're blessing my heart.
absolutely.
Isn't that beautiful?
So
Oh my God, that makes me feel so good. Thank you that it made you
you're
feel
very
good.
welcome. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to send you guys some cosmetics. I have excellent cosmetics. Some
Yes, you do.
hair and foundations, very, very light. And so I'm excited about what we're doing. We've had some hardships progressing. Okay, after Green Acres Mall, then we went into Duane Reade.
Ah.
Yes, I
Dwayne-
remember. Yes.
Yeah. That was huge. I think that was huge. Duane Reade, and
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
Duane Reade. What they were doing was they were creating a section within the Duane Reade stores called Look Boutique, because they wanted to have a store within a store, like a Sephora or an Ulta. They wanted an upscale. So they created this section. You go into Duane Reade, and you go over there, and you see, oh my God, this doesn't even look like a drugstore. It looked just like a department store. So they created that, and we were in that, and we were the first Black vendor
right.
in the Look Boutique. And then Walgreens acquired Duane Reade, so then we went national with that. So that was quite nice, and I was in Duane Reade for 10 years. God, this number 10 always, right? I didn't think
It's a
Yeah.
lucky number.
Wow.
10 is your
so,
lucky
How
number.
awesome is that?
yeah, so it was awesome because I met so many people. It just brought me into the corporate world, so to speak, because I'm not from the corporate world. Right out of high school, I got a job working for the federal government being a typist, a stenographer, because I had to work. because I had a plan. I want to save all my money and go into the theater. So I didn't have that corporate structure. And, there's a whole nother mentality for corporate. But so I learned a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
I learned a lot dealing with Walgreens and Duane Reade and major corporations. We were in there for 10 years, and then things happened. A lot of the stores closed because Duane Reade just closed 200 stores, and they're going to be closing more.
Wow.
And out of those stores, well, a lot of stores are closing. Brick and mortar is really, it's difficult and trouble, especially for small business. It's very, very hard. And we were in there for 10 years, and they closed a lot of stores, and a lot of the stores that we were in, they closed. But it goes back to, you can do this, ladies. You can make it. We know how to pivot. We know how to make lemons into lemonade.
Right.
I was interviewed by LinkedIn last year, and I said, look, I know how to eat grits for dinner, chicken livers. It's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
It's all right.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we all
A pot of beans always works.
Amen, with the rice. There you go. So now we've pivoted. And what I didn't do, we always had an online presence. Am I talking too much, going too much?
No, it's lovely. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, being in Duane Reade was fabulous. Being in Walgreens was fabulous, And we were all over. We were in Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Las Vegas, Miami, Chicago, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, but a lot of stores closed. But what I didn't do, but I should have done, but I don't know if I could have done. Let me explain that. We're a small business, and we paid so much attention to Walgreens and Duane Reade, we neglected our online business. Do you know what I'm saying?
Ah, yeah.
We didn't pay attention to it because we were so busy filling the criteria of Duane Reade and Walgreens and all the things that you had to do. Every time they opened a store, you had to travel to that store. Now, I didn't do it. My daughter did. She's an esthetician, because you had to train the employees to your product. So we really didn't pay attention to our online store. But now, with the environment and the virus, we automatically had to pivot and go online. There's no stores.
Right.
The stores, all the stores are closed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The department store, I mean, I don't know if they're closed up where you are, but our department stores are closed.
Yes, they are. Everything is closed.
It's closed.
Exactly. All New York is closed. The theater's closed. Everything is closed. So, do you have a pity party? Well, you have a pity party for a minute. Come on. We're human. But you got to shake yourself up and, So now what we're doing is we're focusing on our online sales, marketing, and getting the word out about Vera Moore, like we should have done simultaneously.
Wonderful.
But we didn't, But it's not easy, but it's exciting because there's so many things now that.
Yes, it is.
Look at how we're talking to each other right here.
That's right.
Right. And
How
Zoom,
incredible is that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That I can see you and you're not in the
Who
grave.
would have thought it?
Who would have thunk it? All right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I said to Vera before we started, we've wanted her to be on the show for years. And this made it happen. So, things happen for a reason.
You find the good. You find the good. You see?
Absolutely.
So, I've been doing a lot of Zooming, and what we're going to be doing, we're talking about this now. We're going to be doing training. For example, so you're getting firsthand stuff, Deborah. Listen, a person buys some product, so we're going to come out with it. And I'll tell you what it's going to be called. It's going to be called More Than a Beauty Box.
Ooh, I love that.
M-O-O-R-E. You like that?
I love that.
Yeah. It's going to be called
What's
More
it
Than a
called?
Beauty
Wait, I missed that. More what?
See, it's going to be, everybody has a beauty box, right? Everybody has a beauty. Mine's going to be called More, M-O-O-R-E, than a beauty box.
There you go.
More than a beauty box. It's not just going to be the typical beauty box.
That's like
more than a beauty box.
That's like.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
When we talk, we always say more love. MOORELOVE.
Yeah, more fabulous,
more love.
more fun.
So more, and more.
more than a beauty box, because you see, most of the beauty boxes, because you always have to find a niche and find how you can be, your unique position. What makes you special? What differentiates you? More than a beauty box. We're not doing samples. We're giving you full sizes.
Absolutely.
Ooh. That just gave me a.
Oh, okay.
And
Hey.
Sarah got all excited.
I know
Can I
I
put
got
my
it.
hand up for my first more than a beauty box?
Yeah, we're gonna have more
No,
than a beauty box. And what did you say, Sarah?
Because I had, you know how you have a flash of a thought?
Yes.
Having the box be a work of art that
Mhm.
people
Oh.
save.
Oh, are you a designer, illustrator?
No, but I'm an artist. I'm a studio artist, but
Well,
I work
then-
with a lot of incredible
See,
artists.
now I never thought about that. That's part of the. But see, you can't make it too expensive. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
But if
That's
it was just a paper box, but you know, I'm one of those people. I love the boxes that things come in.
Ooh.
But if you had it so that it was something that
Yeah, me too.
That they
even when
could
the
keep.
product is gone, they can keep.
Oh, I love you. All right, so you gotta help me on this. Woman, Deborah, that's a fabulous idea.
Yes,
And-
Sarah,
and
I'm
I
the person
have-
to help you
about
with that.
And I have
See,
some
it's
fabulous
added
artists
value.
that we can talk to.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
yes.
added value. That's added value.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely.
And
so
you know who I'm
see, so-
thinking about, don't you?
I do.
Oh, great.
Yes,
That's
I do.
great.
I know.
And so does, yep.
Oh, that's super. See, oh my God, I love it.
Mhm.
Oh, I love it. This is great.
See, that's what happens when we come together as women who are about doing something and working together collaboratively. So many great ideas come into play that we're able to make you good use of. So,
Yep.
I mean, I think this conversation
Great.
is a demonstration of how we can inspire each other and help each other grow and elevate to that next level.
But you know, the most important thing is you have to be willing to share.
Absolutely.
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 Because a lot of people now, I'm not talking about you guys, of course not. People don't want
They
to share.
wouldn't say
You're
anything.
absolutely right.
Mhm.
And Vera, that's how you and I, from
Oh,
the
yeah,
moment
I love
we
you.
met,
You-
we
you-
began to
listen.
share. We loved each
Exactly.
other from the very
Oh, my
beginning. We
God.
began to support each other and
Oh,
share and
when I
promote
met-
each other and all
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you were working at the hospital, and you know I was hustling my little product and doing stuff and doing demonstrations. And I think I met you at the hospital. You were the kindest, most kid. I fell in love with you immediately. You were so warm. We just connected. You said, "Girl, you know can you come up here and do some demonstrations for the people?" I said, "Of course I will." We did makeovers. We did, we do a lot of things. You know, I do things for people with
And all
cancer.
the women loved you, Vera.
Yes,
All the
yes.
women loved you. Every time
Yeah.
you came, it just lit up the whole conference room.
Yeah, and I've done things. I've been to prison. When I say I've been to prison, I've gone to Rikers Island to help women that are coming out. They were coming
Wow.
out. They had 6 months to come out into the mass population, and we went in there was a self-esteem workshop.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
incredible.
And then I learned a lot from that because we think that women that are in prison, what do they do? Maybe there's a lot of women, they were just depressed and they just did something. The difference between them and you, they got caught.
They got
Right.
caught.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You're right.
There were women there with PhDs. They were in prison.
Mhm.
Wow.
We have
Wow.
They
we
were
have a
educated
listener on-
women.
We have
Wow.
we have a listener on who wants a beautiful box for her stuff.
You see?
I love it.
Mhm.
Hello.
Sarah,
Hello.
right? Sarah, you're Sarah.
Sarah.
You know what? This is so wonderful because in addition to now in addition to the more than a beauty box, we're getting full sizes. And then once you bought your product, Consuela, my daughter, the licensed esthetician, was going to then do a free tutorial to tell you how to use the product. Because
Nice.
when you're in the store,
Awesome.
the person that's selling the product is supposed to demonstrate and show you. But she's going to do like we're talking. Okay,
Right.
you just bought this. Now I'm going to go over how you use the product. That
Mhm.
was one added value. The second
Is
added
there
value.
going to be a video in the box, Vera? Is there
No.
going to be a video in the box?
A link on a card.
Yeah, a
It's
link on a card.
2020.
Yeah, but
On a card. Okay.
perfect vision. Well, what they were going to do is, you would, after you bought your product, then we would call you, put something in the box, say, please make your appointment for, if you want, a tutorial based on the products that you bought. So if you bought products, then she would come in and say, you know, thank you very much for buying blah, blah, blah. And this is what you bought. And let's go over like a training.
It's very, very awesome.
And then after that, then Vera Moore was going to go on, say like 15 or 20 minutes and say hello from Vera Moore, the CEO. So that was all the added value that no one has been. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm getting the word out because you guys got to help me get the word. So then I was going to come on.
Absolutely, girl.
But now Sarah is coming up the box. Yeah. Oh my God.
See, there's a purpose for everything and a time.
Oh my God.
And before wasn't time, now is the time. Because we have to look at what does our new normal look like. And we're busy constructing our new normal. We're not wallowing in the misery of what is going on right now, but planning so that when we can really go at it, boom, we're there.
Well, think about it. What is your favorite thing about a gift? When you get a gift, if it's just handed to you, but if it's all beautifully wrapped.
Yeah. In a beautiful box that you can keep.
In a beautiful box.
Exactly. I agree. Let me tell you something. For Mother's Day, my daughter had a beautiful gift basket. Well, it wasn't even a basket. It was a gift box. I still have that box sitting next to me because it's such a beautiful box. I use it to put stuff in that I want to go back to. So, I mean, I can't even see myself getting rid of the box.
Exactly. So it's a lasting memory. It makes you feel good. You can use it for other things. Absolutely. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. That's a great idea. I hope we can work that out. And does this person make boxes? Do they?
No,
do they make?
They're an artist.
There you go. So they just decorate the box.
So they would decorate the box. I would make it with a flip lid.
Create the design for the box.
I love that.
I mean, I think it could be very, very interesting.
I think it could be.
Well, it's unique. It's unique, and you never know.
Yes. Absolutely.
People buy boxes even if they're empty, if they like it.
That's right.
Like boxes. Exactly. I like boxes. My daughter is like, Ma, will you please get rid of some of this stuff? But some of the stuff, because it's just pretty, I don't get rid of it. I have all kinds of little boxes and little bags and stuff. We like boxes and bags.
Of course. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I keep my gloves in a box that I got.
Of course.
Something in that was cosmetic, but the box was so pretty and it had a lift lid. So I put my good leather gloves in that box so that I know where they are.
So it's very special.
It is.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I love that. I think
something magical has happened from this catalog.
Well, that's the whole thing of networking and collaborating and enjoy, just being innovative and talking. You really have to step outside your box.
I was brought up in an entrepreneurial family. I grew up believing in that and always, being a creative person. So it's like, and then I get these epiphanies that just like, and that's what happened when you were talking. It was like, oh my God.
Well, but
I can see the box.
That creativity never leaves you. I like Deborah. My goodness, she was almost a mentor to me. She would talk so much and tell me, Vera, let's do this. Let's go here. Let's talk. I love her. She was so, what's the word I want to use? She was so encouraging.
Yes. Enlightening. For me, she was enlightening.
Genuine. My God. I mean, no one wants to be around a phony. Okay. Let's talk real.
Boy, that's for sure.
What?
That's for sure. And that's how, Deb and I, when I first met her, we immediately clicked.
Of course.
Like you were talking.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't happen with a lot of people.
No. Because you can see through it.
And you can feel like your souls can actually meet. And
it's a spirit. It's a wonderful spirit. It makes you feel good about yourself. It lifts you up.
Yeah, it's that's the way it's supposed to be. I always say to people, our natural nature is love, but there are
That's
too
right.
many
Oh, Lord,
people with
yes.
low self-esteem
Mm,
and high insecurities and hateful ways, and you
yeah.
can't get anywhere with that, you
No,
know.
no.
And I
And
avoid
we've run
people like
into
that
our
like the
share of
plague, and
those.
so do other people who made. Yeah, oh, trust
We've run
me,
into
yeah.
our
So
share
the
of
bottom
those.
line here is we've got to be genuine in our
Yeah.
connections, because if you're not, people can see through you.
That's
Oh, yeah.
right.
And also it's important to, but you have to have, you can't have low self, you got to surround yourself with people that know more than you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the
Absolutely.
smartest one in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room.
That's right.
Exactly.
So
You
there's
know,
no
and then
ego
we got
here.
to be willing to share.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
we got to be willing to share. You know,
That's what I said.
what's for us is for us. You don't have to worry about somebody taking anything from you or whatever.
That's
Because
what I
when God
believe.
gives us a vision, He also gives us a plan, and He doesn't
That's
give
right.
that plan to anybody else. So we don't have to be afraid
No.
of losing when we share with other people, because what's for us is for us, and nobody can take it away from us. So there's no need to feel insecure.
No.
And you need
Yes.
to, if you have low self-esteem, you need to work on increasing that self-esteem so that you can be in an environment with other women and other people in general who are able to help you grow and glow.
Deb, while you're doing that, you need to hold up those beautiful nails of yours.
Oh, you know what? I've been trying to get my daughter to do them. They need to be
Oh, my God.
redone.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
gorgeous.
You did that?
Oh
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
they're really. I mean, she got this new imprinting machine that
Oh, Lord.
imprints a decoration on the nails. It's like, wow. I was so amazed at watching it. This machine, it just do. And when I pull my finger out, I'm like, wow, okay.
Well, this is the
And
perfect
as far
time
as I
for
know,
her.
she's the only one up here who has it.
Well, this is a perfect time for her because no one's going out to get their nails and feet done.
Yeah, absolutely, because there's nowhere else, you know.
Exactly.
So she's preparing and
I'm-
building her.
Good
She's
for
preparing
her.
and building her business so that once this is all over, she can boom soar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because people want to get the services, but there's no place to go. The places are open.
That's right.
So this is a great
Absolutely,
opportunity for her to start marketing herself. And what better person than her mother?
That's right.
And you're
You know what?
speaking about,
It's all about just supporting each other, no matter
yes.
who we are, you know, and pushing each other to
Mhm.
to be better, to be our best. That's so
Yes.
important, you know. I mean,
Yes.
there's just
Yeah.
too many women out here with low self-esteem and high
Yeah,
insecurity,
I know.
and it
I
doesn't
know.
benefit anybody.
No.
That's right.
And you
Well,
know,
we have on one of our listeners, Vera said that you should put a tip on how to start up your dream, start your job, start your business into every box. That's what they'd like to see.
mhm,
A tip
yeah,
from you.
I was
A tip
thinking
from
that's a
you.
good idea too. I was thinking about putting, because I like what Sarah was saying, you know, what do you like about, you know, the box is beautiful, you keep your box. I was always thinking about doing a little card that just gives a little something to touch your
Little
heart.
inspiration, little inspiration.
Yes, and a little inspiration card, something that people don't throw away,
I
they keep.
agree. And you know what, Vera? They can almost be like, you know how the kids used to collect the baseball cards?
Yes, yes,
With
it's going to be like
every
that.
box, they get a different card, and
different-
they can
yes,
collect those
yes.
cards.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Or
God.
a different box.
Wow,
Different
wow.
artwork for each box.
Well, we won't
Hello.
want it all, but you know
Oh,
what,
okay,
ladies,
guys, we gotta collaborate. This is fabulous.
ladies, I
Is it
know.
over?
We had such a good time, and
It's over?
Vera's going to have to come back on, but we've
Here you
talked for
have
an
to come
hour.
back.
Oh my God!
We've
It's an
talked for an hour.
it's an
So
it's an hour?
it's been an hour.
You're kidding me.
It's been an hour. We've used our
It's been an
hour.
hour.
But I
Oh
have,
my
to say one,
God.
I have to say one thing before we close, if I may.
Okay,
I
absolutely.
want to thank you. I want to thank you, ladies. I mean, this is wonderful. I've had such a wonderful time. But I just want to quote, and I hope I get it right. Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, "Women are like tea bags. They get stronger in hot water."
There you go. That is a wonderful
That's
thing to
wonderful.
leave on
Of
tonight.
course it is.
It's a
Hello.
wonderful thing.
Vera,
You like that?
Vera, before we go, tell people how they can connect with you.
Oh, yes. Vera Moore Cosmetics, V Moore at VeraMooreCosmetics.com, and our website is www.VeraMooreCosmetics.com. And give me a call. I pick up the phone. 516-367-6538. 516-367-6538. And also follow me on Instagram at Vera Moore Cos. You know, I am so excited about this. You sure it's an hour?
It's been an hour. I just saved you. I just shared your website on the show comments, so people will have a direct link to be able to get over to your website.
Thank you so much, Holly.
Yeah.
But we've got to get together and talk. You know, this could be
I think we need to do this again.
more.
Counts feels, but I think
This has been a great.
Holly, more fabulous.
more fabulous.
More fabulous.
More fabulous, because I think people would also like to hear some like hands-on makeup tips from you, because people, I think a lot of women are very trepidatious when it comes to trying something new, to changing things up, becoming more modern, all those sorts of things. So I think
Exactly.
talking about the actual products that you sell, what they're for, how they help people, I think that would be another.
Yes, of course.
Full
Well,
show.
that's another show, and maybe Consuelo, who's an esthetician, you know, could come on too and tell you.
That would be
I mean, but
great.
I will tell you that people are getting more involved in their skin, taking care of their skin. You know, well, it depends on when they're going out, but they're wearing less makeup. They're interested in having clean skin, clean and fresh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
So
and I
it's
know-
Vera,
that's
give my
important.
love to Consuelo and to Billy.
will.
Say hi for me, and hopefully when I get to
Yeah,
New
oh my
York, we can
God.
get together.
We will have Vera back on. We will have Vera back on. We want to thank Brooke.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Vera, we love you. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
This was
We have to
incredible.
thank our
Don't
sponsor.
forget to call me.
We have to
Don't
thank
forget
our
to call me.
sponsor. We have to thank our sponsor.
Oh, of course.
We must thank our
Let me
sponsor, brokersrealty.com,
Yes.
who helps us come to you every week. Without them, we wouldn't
Yes.
be here with you. They bring us here every week. They make this possible. We had a 2-month hiatus on charging people for sponsorships and shows and advertising. June is a new month. We're having summer specials on being an advertiser on all our different shows. So if you are interested, we have half off pricing. We figure that people are ready to get back on their feet. We are ready to get back on ours. We struggled through those 2 months, but we're ready to hit the ground running for the summer. And we hope everybody else out there who owns their own business feels the same way, and that they can recover from this as fast as humanly possible. We wish everybody the best. We want all of our listeners and all the local people here who own businesses that we know do well. You know, everybody out there, we hope the best for you. So see you next Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook Live. If you're watching the show and it's been a replay, just pop in your comments, replay, and we really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Vera.
Thank you.
Sis.
We'll
talk later.
We're off air. We're off air. We're off air.
Call me Sarah, Holly. Thank you.
We're off air.
We're off there.
We're off air?
Yep.
Okay, we're off there.
All right. Thank you, guys.
That was awesome. That was an awesome show. That was a really awesome show. We really hope to have you on again. That was
I love that.
It was such a pleasure to meet you, Vera.
Oh, well, thank you very much. But please, you got to keep in touch. We got to really see what we can do
I
with
have
this.
Vera's email so I can pester her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've got some ideas, Vera.
I know. Well,
Oh,
listen, I'm
wait,
all
Vera.
ears.
This is my beautiful daughter, Hannah.
Let me put my glasses on. Let me say. She's gorgeous. Look at that beautiful face.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
brilliant.
And those cheekbones.
Yep. She's brilliant
I-
too. Yes, she's a model. She
Well,
modeled since she was 12.
Well, there you go. Well, Mom ain't bad either.
Well, thank you. For 60, I just turned 60.
Well, you look great.
Thank you so
You
much.
look great. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, Vera.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
just
we
so
have to-
glad that we got to meet you not in person, in Zoom World. We got to meet you in Zoom World finally after all these
Oh, thank
hearing
you,
about.
Holly.
Yeah, it was
Thank you
wonderful.
so much. I appreciate it. I really do. The opportunity. Thank
And
you.
we appreciate you, and thank you for being so forthright with everyone. It is a really wonderful thing when we have a guest that just is straightforward with people, and that's the way it should be.
Well, if you want to grow, that's where you have to be. You have to be transparent.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You have to be honest. No, you have to be honest. But you have to have that connect with people. Yeah, you have to be honest, because if you're not honest, then people can help you.
That's right.
Well, I think
Yeah.
if you're not honest, people know that you're not honest, and that
Oh, they can see through it. Of course.
that spreads faster than the good things about you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Of course.
So,
Wonderful.
Well,
Thank you so much, Vera.
did Deborah leave?
She did.
I think she did. I think she got confused and she clicked off.
No, I think she
Okay.
left because of her daughter's thing.
Oh
That's-
yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yes, they have a thing tonight too.
They have a thing.
So let's talk soon, everybody. Let's talk right
Absolutely.
away. Okay.
Let's
I'll
take
keep
you on
Okay.
again over the summer sometime, okay?
Sounds
Okay,
good, Vera.
Okay.
And you and I can talk about
Oh,
you know,
call me. Get the
boxes
number.
and-
Yeah, call me. Yes, call me.
516-367-6538.
Exactly. And my email is vmore@veramoorecosmetics.com.
There you go.
And you can get all that from Deborah. It's no fun.
Okay.
Holly, and
And-
thank you so much, Holly.
Thank you.
And Dad can give you all my information as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, okay.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the
Thank
rest of
you,
your dinner.
Vera.
I'll
Stay
talk to you
safe,
later.
Stay strong. Okay. Stay safe.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
All right.
You
Good
too.
night.